now we go to his big friend over here. Please note that Jawas do not range in scale from small to large like this. I just did a close-up of this guy, that's all. If there are any professional basketball player Jawas, we have not seen them yet, but there's a new movie coming. Who's to say they don't make an appearance? And the feather. Some of these lines, I'm going to kind of circle it back in to the center here. This can still be kind of a cartoony style if we want, but like I said, I'm going to try to make it a little more realistic. It can be a subjective word when you're talking about science fiction characters, but because everybody's seen them in the movies, I think there's some good photo reference for them. So a more photorealistic look is my intent. Because I'm using this brush pen, be a little bit more graphic feel to it still. Meaning it's not purely straight lines and clean lines. A lot of times when I ink like this, you can see that I'm going up and down to do these fill lines. I'm not just going back and forth. It's like sometimes people, they'll just go back and forth like this, trying to create a little bit of a pattern to it. I guess you have the option to do what feels better to you in that situation. Just going to try and create some more variation of lines here. A couple different kinds of shadows. This big open piece of the hood over here. I'm going to go outside of my pencil lines just a little bit, because I was looking at it and I didn't like this little piece here, that little dip. So, decided to make a mid-course correction. Give a little bit of volume to a shoulder over here. You can still do things with the robes, like I think I mentioned earlier. I think these things look like burlap bags that they're in. You can kind of play around with that idea a little bit and add some patterns for some of the details. Yeah, or maybe like I just put like a little rip in it. I'm sure that sewing is not a big hobby with a bunch of Jawas who are busy stealing droids living in the desert. So I'm sure their stuff gets a little beat up. You've seen the sand crawlers. Nobody's taking care of those things. Got a little bit of the arm defined here. I'm letting the brush have some actual brush strokes here. You see the extra little thin pieces that are coming off of it. Again, I'm just trying to let the brush have a graphic feel. It's kind of a drier brush stroke. I'm going to do something like that. Just want to have add a little texture. It's real light strokes. Maybe start doing this bandolier. I'll be a little more deliberate with my strokes because I want to have this outline pretty solid. I'm kind of creating a little bit of a convention for the way those flaps open right there. Sometimes I'll take a line and I'll bring it all the way down in one swoop. Other times I'll kind of bring it down in sections. Just makes me really pay attention more about having this or something like this. It's actually segmented. Keep it in its segments, which I think is it's important to help you think about your volumes. If it's supposed to be something that holds something, you just kind of break it up into pieces, and you can give everything a little bit of attention, but not spend too much time on it if it doesn't need it. Let's get this arm under here. A little more volume on the outside. Thicker lines. We'll do some more shadow lines on the inside. Not necessarily too thick or too dark, I hope. But give some shadow in this area. Just hint at some shadow under here. Just keep this going around the corner here. So it gets underneath his arm and around his waist. Then there's more realistic Jawa.